From the year 1972 in the St. Louis Dispatch. Bill Johnson keeps trying to find lane to success. In the early 1950s, Bill Johnson was the star of the Webster Groves High School golf team, and the winning was easy. Nobody beat Webster on the links in those days, and hardly anybody beat Johnson. Bill entered the district caddy tournament twice and won it twice. Southern Methodist University gave him a golf scholarship. Again, Bill was a winner, but sometimes he relaxed by spending a couple of hours at the bowling lanes. I'd always liked bowling as well as golf, Johnson recalled. When I was 11, I would sometimes set my own pins at Saratoga lanes in Maplewood. You really want to bowl if you do that. Eventually, the lanes near the SMU campus proved to be more enticing than the golf course, and the hook that Bill engineered with a 16-pound ball became more accurate than the one he relied on to reach the green. His preference for bowling was noted at SMU, and in his junior year, he lost his scholarship. I didn't mind because I was so excited about bowling, Johnson said. Johnson was back in town for the $50,000 American Airlines pin tournament that ended last night at Western Bowl. I got a couple of jobs and stayed on at SMU for 4 years, although I didn't graduate, said Bill. I got drafted into the Army, but I was sent to Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and that wasn't too bad because I was able to bowl a lot in Kansas City with pros like Bob Chase and Glenn Blakesley and Bill Pace. I really sharpened my game. Johnson was discharged in December 1962 and immediately headed for the Professional Bowlers Association tournaments. Again, the winning looked easy. I won $235 in my first tournament, got shut out in the next 3, and then won a championship and $5,000 in Dallas, Johnson said. In that first year on the tour, I made $17,000. That was good money for a pro bowler a decade ago, but there hasn't been a year that good for Bill Johnson since then. He can knock down pins just about as well, but the prize money has to be squeezed out a few $100s at a time, if at all, and expenses on the tour are high. Johnson was first married in 1960. That didn't work out real well, and he remarried in 1966. So we'll pick up with this. I got a job as a brewery worker in New Orleans for 2 years, and sometimes I worked the desk in a bowling alley, said Bill. But every chance I got, I polished my game. I knew I had to get back on the tour someday, and I knew I could win. My wife, Sandra, saw how miserable I was, and she urged me to go back to the tournaments if I felt I could make enough money to support us. So in 1967, I started traveling again, and I've been shooting in most of the tournaments since then. Johnson has a sponsor, P.J. Maxwell in New York, who provides his expense money and then shares in his winnings. In 13 tournaments this year, he dropped off for 8 months, starting last fall to work in a pro shop. He has earned a little over $8,000. All the guys on the tour are good, but some just seem to have the ability to win, Johnson said. It's a combination of determination and confidence, I guess. Don Johnson and Dick Weber have it, although maybe Dick isn't as determined as he used to be. I'm changing my attitude. I've been going out on the lanes with the idea of winning enough money to exist, but you've got to believe you can win. Johnson's wife stays in New Orleans, where she works as a government secretary and takes care of their 4-year-old daughter, Michelle. We don't see each other for months sometimes, said Bill, but Sandra knows this is where I have to be. A pro bowler needs an understanding wife. I've been working on my game, developing a softer shot because you don't have to hit the pocket hard these days. I feel I can win. Not just one tournament, but many. I've just got to keep working on my game.